Hello, everybody. I know it's later than usual. It always seems to be right. I've had so many issues this evening, starting with having issues from getting the data from the websites, to getting it to show up in the workbook, to formula issues where I had changed things from weekly to short call. And then before some of those issues even arose, I was working on some additions to the workbook. And then I was also trying to, if I did it in one workbook, to possibly do it in the other workbook, because we have the ULTY and then we have the Yieldmax. So I was trying to make them consistent and similar. And then I also, on this one, was starting a summary tab, and I've been having to take things away and put things in different places and stuff as we continue to build the workbooks. So we're going to go over Ulti first. I think I only had like maybe 4 or 5 likes on the Yieldmax single stock ETFs, and I think I had like 20 on Ulti. So I'm prioritizing Ulti tonight, and if I can, it's already past midnight, but once I get through this video, if I think I can make it through the next one, then I'll go ahead and do the next one. The bad thing is I had a lot of changes here, so that's going to take a minute for me to go, some extra minutes to go through. But we'll just start right here on today's trading tab. So, we haven't been having any trades, but today is March 7th. So, tomorrow's the 8th, and we have a lot of our options closing. And I don't know why. My H column, for some reason, I have my conditional formats on it, and for some reason it's not working. So I was going to use this tab, but it's past midnight, so the trades are gone. Because this one, for some reason, it was working on, and it wasn't working on. It's not working on this one, so I don't know why. But yeah, this was the original before I had to format it. So I guess I'm gonna have to do. Well, now that I've got a lot of things set up and formulas and stuff, the main thing is going to be, because these aren't in order by stock now, like the other ones are. These are being basically sorted by, well, I guess I'd have to look over here. Yeah, by the type, because this is the raw data over here. So you see all the SS's at the top and all the B's at the bottom. So they're not sorting it by the ticker. So then I have to go in and resort the data and then try to make it, look better for you. But I made here short call blue. I had it like that somewhere else, and I made it blue just for easily to see. And I had the stock. I had J and K here before. I just made it a little bit different colors. I do have like I said, the conditional formatting for the dates, like I have on the holdings, like I showed yesterday. But like I said, it's not working today on this particular tab. I did go ahead and put in some conditional formatting on column N, just to highlight different colors if it's open or closed. And then I added a column on the right, so I don't have to go look it up to tell me, are we adding to a position we already had, or are we creating a new one? So I added that there, so I don't have to go do that. And I do believe that one of my peeps that keep helping me out with things to add and adjustments and everything. I do believe I've got a couple of those, and I think one of them had suggested me do something like this. So it took me a minute, and I don't even know if this is how I want it. I put adding to because that's what usually I say. I don't know if there's something else I should call it. In fact, I was actually just going to have the new and existing, and I thought, yeah, but I say they're going to add to it. So I don't know. Y'all can let me know if you have a preference, or if there's like an official term or something that should be there. I can change that easily. It's just a formula. You can't really see it, but all my formulas are crazy. It's got all kinds of stuff going on down there, but it'll be an easy change to do. So and then I went through and just put lines through all of this, and I can tell you right now that all of these are the same stocks that we've been working with. So there are no new stocks. And some of these, I wish this color code was working because we opened up options today that expire tomorrow. But yeah. So let's just get started. So we have ALT here. I don't think I've ever tried to memorize what ALT was for. I just always start with saying ALT. It looks like we opened a new short call with a strike price of $11, and then we have our synthetics that we added to, and they ended up bringing in a total of 71,000 for those 3 trades. And then so just to remind, if you haven't seen this before, column K will show you if you're like in the money or out of the money. So let's see. Okay, yep, stock price here. I'm like, where? Because on the other one, the stock price is on the left. So here we have the stock price. It's $10 and the strike's $11. So we are 10% under that strike price. Or I could make it 10% away and make it a positive, but right now that's just the way this formula is set up. So whatever y'all's preference is on that, on how you view it. I know sometimes it depends on how I have them laid up and how I talk through it, and it just makes sense sometimes to put it one way or the other. But yep. Okay, so we will move on, and this right here should be pretty quick. So ARM, all we did was add to the existing short call and synthetic that we already had. So we added 21 contracts to those. I am looking here though. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's actually good because that's a synthetic. Yeah, which then makes me think about like the other one. I swapped the plus and minus if it was a synthetic versus the short call because of how we want to be above one and, below the other. So maybe I should do that here as well. I'm just going to read this for now. And then I'll come back later and look at that, I guess, and think about it. And y'all can give me your input if you want. But let's see. I'm just going to try to run through this fairly quickly, okay? I know we make these really long. So then we have Clean Spark here. And I think, honestly, this is the 3rd day that we've had trades that were posted. And this is and one day, the first day, it was just, the very first day, they had an upload issue, so we didn't get to see any of those trades. The second day, they just had a handful of trades. And then we had one huge day like this one, and then we had a few days with no trades, and then we're back to here. So if you haven't been watching, just to give you that history right there. But anyway, we have Clean Spark here. I'll move this up. We have a brand new short call with a strike of $20. And that actually expires tomorrow. And then we added to the synthetic position there. And then we have coin. You know what? Now I'm remembering. You know what? I don't even know if we do that with this one. Do we go back and forth? I don't even know. Between the two videos, I don't know, because I know with Yieldmax, we go back and forth, but since we've only done ULTY, we've only had 2 days of trading, I don't remember which we did. So I don't know. I'm just going to go ahead and quickly go through the trades, and then I'll go over to the holdings. And y'all let me know if you want me to swap back and forth, because we don't really have a way specifically that we do it here, but with this one because it's brand new. But So Coinbase here, we have we have short call on the synthetics, and it looks like all we did was add to the existing positions that we already had. We added 11 contracts, and it cost us $42,000 to do that. And then Carvana, we have a new strike price for a short call of $82, and that expires tomorrow. And then, of course, adding to the synthetic, so that costs $14,000 total. And then we have GigaCloud technology. There's a GG Cloud, GigaCloud. I think that makes more sense. It'd be funny, GG. Sorry, but GCT. It looks like all we're doing here is adding 73 contracts to the short call and the synthetic, and then it costs $23,000 to do that. And then we have Groupon here, same thing, we're just adding to the synthetic and short call they already had, 134 contracts costing $23,000. And then we have the LabU there, which is a biotech ETF. And it looks like we have a new short call strike price of $165, which expires tomorrow. And then we have Mara. Oh, I'm sorry. So that LabU there ended up actually bringing in $17,000. And then we have Mara with the new short call expiring tomorrow with a strike price of $24. And then we added to these synthetic positions. They ended up bringing in $35,000. And then MDGL, I believe that was a pharmaceutical company. It looks like all we were doing is adding to the positions we already had, and they brought in $18,000. MSOS is a cannabis ETF. It looks like they have a new short call strike price of $8.50 here, and then they added to the synthetics, bringing in $11,000. And then we have MicroStrategy. They added 2 contracts. Wow. This one expires tomorrow. Right here. It expires tomorrow. I don't know what the price is of this. I don't have those over here on the right anymore. Oh, duh, because I have them right here. But 2 contracts, but they only got $1,100 for it. I don't know. I don't know. $5.50 a share. Does that seem normal? That seems really low. I don't know. It's not a lot of money to have brought in, but anyway, I'm sure they know what they're doing. I definitely don't know what I'm doing, but they do. They know better than me anyway, right? So anyway, that synthetic call right there cost us $385 a share. So it ended up to do these add these 2 contracts to the short call and synthetic cost over almost $59,000. If we go down to nano imaging, all we did was add to the short call and synthetic we already had, and we brought in $2,300. And those don't expire till next week. Since they're not colored, see, that's why I need the stuff colored. I'm forgetting to look at those option dates, but we'll see them on the other side. That's no problem. Those are colored. So we have Riot, and it looks like they opened up a new short call with a strike price of $13 expiring tomorrow, and then they added to the synthetic position they already had, bringing in $21,000. And then Root, and this was the one I keep looking at every night, like, what is this? It said something about a category of insurance. But it looks like they opened a new short call expiring next week with a strike price of $50, and then they added to these synthetic positions. For SMCI, they added to, a lot of these are like this, and I don't really understand why, but they they opened up a new short call expiring tomorrow, a $1,200 strike, and we're only $40 from that, 3%. And we earned $2,600. by doing those two. But that call right there again whooped us though, because it cost $356 a share to do that one. So we ended up paying $63,000 to make those trades for SMCI. And then we have SoundHound. They just ended up adding to the short calls and synthetic that they had. And then we have Viking. I think it's Viking Technology. They ended up opening a new short call with a strike price of $83 expiring tomorrow, and then added to their synthetic. So we're going to move on over to the holdings. So yes, it looks different yet again today. I ended up taking off these columns that I had, this total value and ranking on the side. I have moved it somewhere else, but it just didn't work very well over here. I like it. It just didn't really work. I don't know. You can let me know what you think. But so I took those away. And now you should be able to see it really good. Oh, I changed the stuff at the top. I took the colors off because I felt like I kept adding colors to this, and there was starting to be colors everywhere. So I made the top black and white. If you remember here, it was like purple and stuff. There was just lots of colors. Of course, now I've took the colors away from the side. I'm sure y'all don't care about colors, but I don't know. I'm a little a freak sometimes. But anyway, so this one is the one, I remember now. The reason I took these things off on the side is because you see these right here, like if you look at the lines, they're grouping like 3 ALTs, 3 arms, 3 clean sparks, 3 coins. But then when you go to day, you have 4s on several of those. And the way sheets works, like I had merged all of those. Then I had to go back and individually unmerge all of them, and then I would have had to remerge them. And so that was going to be too much work, so that's why I chose to put them somewhere else in more of a summary area. So that's why I moved those off of there, and the rankings, which I don't even think anybody said they liked the rankings, so I don't even know if y'all want that. But at the top of the page, I did change it a little bit. So I added, because everybody keeps asking me, well, where do we stand? And I added a total trades right here. And this right here is summing up the cost of all the trades that we have a copy of. Okay, so we do, but keep in mind that February 29th, when they sold all the stocks that they had, and then did the synthetic, because I think they had, let's see. So here, if you go back to, the first, they had the stock. They owned the stock, sorry. And then they had a short call. And then they ended up selling. I don't know if it's still loading or I didn't copy over the whole thing from my old workbook. I mean the other workbook, because I was swapping back and forth when we first started. Because this is definitely not all of them. But anyway, you can see here, then they sold the shares that they held, and then they did synthetics instead. But I'd emailed Jay that night asking, because you could clearly see that there were changes, and then he had responded back. There ended up being an upload issue. So that was like the first one. So I guess it was just because of the first one, something was wacky and something wasn't right. So we didn't capture those trades. So we have no clue. Okay, so just know that when we have this up here, that it doesn't include those first ones. And then I just did per share. And then of course the formulas aren't here, because if you don't paste, the and values, keep all your data every day, it's just going to overwrite. But this right here is just based on the cost or the total trades, if they made money in or lost money, and the amount of outstanding shares that we have. And then I'm not really sure why. I need to really look back at it again. I checked it, but I didn't really. I mean, I just summed them all up. But anyway, like here, this net assets is coming from their raw data here. This is part of their formula of what comes out, when I download the data. But when sorry, when you add up all of the numbers here, it equals to a different number. So you can see here at the bottom left, it says sum 9,221,278. And if you look at the net assets in column W, it says 9,271,278. So it's off by roughly $50,010 because it's probably rounded. So I'm not sure why that is. I just happened to notice it. So what I've done is here at the top, it actually sums all of that so we could actually see the difference between those two. And I guess what I could do is just put a formula over here just so we could see what that difference is. So it doesn't truly matter which one we do first. But they're saying the net assets is $50,000 and I guess $50,009 more than what the sums of the market values are. But anyway, I just happened to notice that today when I was adding these things up there. So those changed. And I think that's it on here because our color codes are okay, and we already had these on this sheet yesterday. But hopefully y'all are happy that I have the total trades now at the top and the amount that's worth per share. Though right this second it's not worth anything, right? But we just started. We're a week into this, right? And we still have like 4 or 5 weeks before our next distribution. So like I don't even know. We got about maybe 5 weeks. So, and don't hold me to that because I'd have to go look at the calendar for sure. Go back to my video that I did over the distribution dates. But anyway, so let's get through this. So here for 8, and I thought about this because people might come on that haven't watched these before. So I'm just going to scroll down through. I'm not going to read all these here for you. But then, Retire All Dividends made a comment the other day about, you got to think about people, they're driving and doing stuff and not looking at the screen. So you got to read stuff. But so I guess I will just a little bit here. But, I'd hate to have to do this every day only because it takes up time. I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think. I don't know if anybody really cares. Well, no. People care what the underlying stocks are here because I keep hearing a bunch of stuff from people basically saying it's a bunch of crappy stocks and they don't know why they're holding them and they don't want to buy this because of those. But you have to remember that the ones that they're getting is due to volatility, right? And somebody requested, multiple people requested that I added IV. I did see after the fact that somebody wanted me to add it to the distribution sheet in that video I did that evening. I didn't see that till later, so it didn't happen, but I did add it to this workbook so you can see the IV for these, and you could see why they're added here. It's not because, this is an awesome company, right? Because that's not what this one is for, but this is looking for those high volatility stocks. So anyway, so we have Altimmune. That's right. I remember not being able to sound that really good before, but we have Altimmune, which is healthcare. We have ARM Technology, which is technology. CleanSpark Financial Services. Coinbase Financial Services. Carvana Consumer. Cyclical. I don't know what I just did. GigaCloud Technology, Groupon Communication Services, GitLab Technology. Then we have the Biotech ETF, and then we have Mara, which is financial services, Bitcoin related. Then we have the pharmaceutical healthcare company. Then we have the cannabis ETF, MicroStrategy, which is technology, nano imaging, healthcare, Riot Platforms, financial services, which deals with Bitcoin. We have Root Financial Services, C, Consumer Cyclical. It's the second one of those. Super Micro Computer Inc. Technology, Soundheld Technology, Vikings Therapeutics, Healthcare. I won't make a habit of doing this every night, but I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think. If you want me to just show it and scroll, if you want me to read them or what. I know it's going to take time. But looks like a lot of healthcare, technology, and financial services is the majority of these. And then, of course, the industry is there if you want to know those. But I'm sure you don't want me to continue reading all those. But that'll give you an idea if you haven't looked at these before. So we have Altimmune here on the first one, and the strike price, well, we closed at 10:03 today, and our strike price is $12. So we are 20% away from the strike price. And so I don't know if y'all want me to read how dollar-wise we are from the strike price, or if you prefer the percentage, or if you prefer both. So if you can let me know in the bottom. I tend to end up going back and forth because to me, to me, the percentage seems to be better because then you can compare them to each other. But y'all might prefer to just know the dollar amount, or I don't know. Maybe you just want the price and the strike price and you calculate it yourself. It's up to you. Or if you're looking at the screen, clearly you can see it on the screen. But y'all just let me know. Like I said, all the feedback that y'all give me is what's making this better because, and I said it in a text today, this is for all of us. It's not just for me. It's making me do this stuff by doing the videos because now I'm holding myself accountable, or y'all are I'm holding myself accountable to y'all, right? For the people that actually watch my video, even though it may be only like 24 likes. I have 24 people that like it, but I do appreciate it for those that do like it, and those that comment and subscribe. So I greatly appreciate that. But, I can only, if there's something you want, I don't know unless you tell me, right? But I appreciate everybody that has been letting me know some things that I would like to see. But anyway, let's get through this. We have, like I already said, that the close at 10:03, but we have a second short call there that, and I didn't mention the expiration date, but this one expires next week with the $11 strike, and we are 10% away from that one right now. And then we have our synthetics there. Our synthetic strike price is $13. So we are $3 underneath it, which is 30%. And what if you didn't already know, for the synthetic, we want to be over it. And for a short call, we want to be under it. So we want to be between our short call and synthetic. But in this case, this stock ended up, I guess, going down after they had purchased it, the synthetics and stuff. So that's why their short calls are lower than the synthetic. They came afterwards. But as you can see, if you look over to the right for that synthetic, because we are $3 under 30%, if we had to close this out, it would cost $130,000 if you're doing, so I don't touch the screen. If you're doing these, yeah, all right. If you add those two together, there we go. I was like, where am I at? If you add this one and this one together. So that just give you ideas. We're going down through here. I won't mention all of the synthetics, but just wanted to mention because this one is red and how it would cost money to close those out there. And then hopefully, so tomorrow is Friday. And this one will probably just be, they'll just let it expire. And that way they don't have to pay any fees or costs to close this. And so that's what they'll do, with all of these that they can do it for. So we'll move on to ARM. I think we've explained most things at this point. So we got ARM here. We have a short call with $150 strike price. We closed today at 140 and 85 cents. So we are 6.5% away from our strike price. So it's looking good right now. And then we have the synthetic is over its strike price by 4%. So it's in the positive. If we go to Clean Spark here, we have two short calls with the strike prices of 18 and 20. And we have our stock price closed at $17.82 today. So we're 18 cents from that one. And both of these close tomorrow, or both of these expire tomorrow. And then, of course, we have the $20 one, and we are 12% away from that. Our synthetic, though, our synthetic strike price is 18, and we're 18 cents below that. So to close that out right now, it's showing we'd only pay maybe like $2,000, but we got a month, but it's looking good. So then we have Coinbase here. We have a 245 strike. Now, I know in after hours, this one started taking off because somebody gave them an upgrade or something like that. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. But I know it was shooting up. But they closed at 242.62. So right now, they're 1% away from that strike price for the short call, that is. And then those synthetics, we have a 200 strike price. We're at 242, so we're 18% above that strike price. If we move on to Carvana, we have two short calls that expire tomorrow with strike prices of 82 and 91, and we closed at 79.47. So we're 3% away from one of those strike prices and 14.5% from the other. And both of them just have 36 contracts there, so they're evenly spread. And we're 5% above our synthetic strike price of $75. And so then we have GigaCloud, make sure, GigaCloud Technology. And we have a strike price of $40. We closed at $33.90, so we're 18% away from our strike price. And then that one doesn't expire till next week, though. And then we also have a strike price of $45 there, and we're 33% from that one. And we are 11% above our synthetic strike price of $30. If we move on to Groupon here, our strike price for a short call is $20. We're at $18.61, and we're 8% away from that. Our synthetic strike price is $17, and we are almost 9% above that strike price. If we go to GitLab, we have our short call expiring tomorrow with a strike price of 80. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a problem. We closed today at 59.03, so we are 35% away from our strike price. Now, because this did tank after what I believe was earnings, our synthetic is at $70, so we're over 18% below our synthetic. So if you look over on the right, if we had to close that out, it would cost us about $44,000 to close those out. We're going to go on down to LabVIEW, which is the biotech ETF. We have two short calls that will expire tomorrow, 165 and 178. We're about, 8% and 17% from those strike prices. So it's looking pretty decent, but because they did drop after earnings, their strike price for their synthetics are at 165, but we closed at 152.45. So right now, if we had to sell, it's looking like it would cost us about $36,000. But again, all these synthetics won't close for another month and a half. So we will see. We should have our next distribution before the expiration of these, but we'll see. If we go on to Mara here, we have two short calls that expire tomorrow with strike prices of 24 and 28. We closed today at 21.80, and we are 10 and 28% away from those strike prices. But our synthetic strike price is 28, and Mara, I think they had reported a few weeks ago, I thought, and it was bad. Maybe that's why they're still down. Maybe it wasn't a few weeks ago. Maybe it was just like one. But anyway, so they've obviously tanked here because our strike price for a synthetic is 28, and the close price at 21.80. So we are 28% below our synthetic strike price. So looking over to the right, we're looking at right now a cost of $70,000 if we close that out soon. If we move on to the pharmaceutical company, we have a short call, but it doesn't expire till next week with a strike price of $270. Sorry, I was looking at the price to close that out over there. But sorry, so we closed at $251.03. So we're 8% away from that strike price. So this formula is, am I losing my mind? This formula must not have gotten changed yesterday. I remember I had done them, and then when we did the video, some of them were off, but that one's not right. So that's MDGL. Yep. I don't know why. That one line. Oh, there's another one. So what I'm going to do, and I think it was just, no, it was the middle one, but you know what I'm going to do. And I'm sorry, I know you hear my husband probably snoring in the background. He did leave the bedroom for a long time, but I spent like 5 or 6 hours on all of these formulas and our issues. Oh, shoot. Well, I can copy it, but I can't paste values. That's okay, though. Oh, you know what? I was talking. Oh, I do have them selected, so I just need to do this. My goodness. And paste. Let's make sure. Yep, that's better. So I could tell those bottom two changed too. So see, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like this thing's got me losing my mind. Okay. The bad thing is it's going to mess up this other thing, but I'd rather the numbers be right. Since I'm not on my computer, I haven't figured out how to paste values. Though I did figure out how to freeze panes. So I thought that was pretty cool. Anyway, I know I'm such a nerd. Sorry, now this is going to look messed up on the other side because I do have to clean it up when I do that, but it's okay. It'll be all right. Okay, so we were here. So now we see how that was negative. Now it's positive because it's correct, right? Because if our strike price is $250 for a synthetic, we wanted to be over it, and it was over it by $1.03. So that's how I knew something was wrong, because it was a negative number. So for some reason, some of those did not copy over yesterday. So yeah, so we'll move on to MSOS, which is the cannabis stock, and the strike price, let's see, we have a short call that expires tomorrow. The strike price is $10, and we are at, we close at $7.75. So we're 30% from that strike price. So hopefully it will just expire tomorrow worthless. And then we have two strike prices that expire next Friday. We got a $8.50 and a $9.50. So we are 10 and 23% away from those. It looks like we're slightly below our synthetic strike price. Even though we're only slightly below, it's showing over here. It would still cost us $30,000 to close those out. So just to keep that in mind. But again, we're a ways out from that. So then we're going to go to MicroStrategy. And let's see, we have two strike prices for our short calls that expire tomorrow. We have a 1140, which we're over by 12%, which is $160. And then we have a 1450, which we had one and they had just bought two today. We saw two contracts at the 1450, so we are 11.5% from that strike price. But both of those expire tomorrow. And then we have our synthetic of 990, and we're over that by 24%. So that's looking good as well. So then we have nano imaging here. Its short call does not expire until next Friday, but its strike price is $12.50, and we closed at 10.23. So we are, 22%. We have we still have a 22% buffer there between our closing price and our strike price. And then our synthetic is $10, and we are above that by 23 cents, or 2% there. And then if we go on to Riot, we have two short calls that expire tomorrow, $13 and $15.50. And we are 8 and 29% away from those. And then we have our synthetic, $14, and we are under this. It's like going down with Mara, I guess. Even though Coinbase is going the opposite direction and it's going up. So I haven't been hearing a lot or been able to listen to a lot of what's going on there. But yeah, right now it shows it would cost us somewhere around $50,000 to close that out. But we'll move on to Root. We have two short calls that expire next Friday. We got $45 and we have $50. That $45 one, we're only 50 cents away from that because we closed at $44.50, and our $50 one, of course, will 12% away. And our synthetic has a $40 strike price, and we're 10% above that, so that's looking good. So you can see the difference on the right. When we're above it, you see if we closed it out, we would make like almost $70,000, but not exactly. If we move on down to C has two short calls that expire tomorrow, and the strike prices for those are $54 and $58. Ooh, if you look on the left, though, we got some red going on there, because we closed at $59.34. So for that first one with the 26 contracts, we are 9% over our strike price. And then for the $58 one, we're 2% over our strike price. But still, when we look at how much it would cost to close it, it's only like $17,000. It's really not that much. And our synthetics making some money, right? Because the strike price is 48 and it's at 59. So it's showing a market value of $70,000. And I promise y'all, I swear, when I start my my iPad's always charged, but by the time I get ready to do the video, it's almost dead. And I guess somehow my husband unplugged it. I know Citizen of the Year commented about doing the videos, and then my low battery keep popping up there. All right, sorry about that. So we'll go on to SMCI. We have two short calls that expire tomorrow. We have a $940 strike price, and we are 20%, 19% over that, $220. Our We closed today at $1,159.70. So, but our next strike price is $1,200. So we're only 3% from that one. So we'll see how that works out. But right now it shows on the right, the market value shows negative 46,000 for the short call. But for the synthetic, the strike is 830. So we're $330 over that, 28%. With the amount positive of 133,000. So it's looking okay there. And then we have Soundhound. We're almost done. We have Soundhound there with a short call that expires tomorrow with a strike price of $650, and we closed at $563. So we're 15% from that one. And then our synthetic, we had the strike price of $5, and we're above that by 11%. And then we have Viking Technology, 2 short calls that expire tomorrow. Strike prices, that's huge. It must have went down. We got 83 strike price and 103 strike price. So we are 12% and 39% away from those strike prices, and they both expire tomorrow. But our strike price for our synthetic is 85, and we closed at 74, so we're 15% below that strike price. So it shows our market value for that is like negative, I don't even know, negative 58,000, something like that. So anyway, we made it through that. So now for the new part, and where I took stuff away and where I added it. So on the right, if I do this, I think, well, no, I wish I'd get rid of that bottom so you could see the whole thing here. Nope. All right. So anyway, here we have our underlying on the left. Then we have the market value. So on the other tab, I had added that with the color codes yesterday. I don't know where it's at. I was going to, as a reminder. Oh, right here. So here in column AA, that's where I'd done that and did all those merging and then the ranking too. And then instead, now they're over here. So you can actually see, of course, and then I did the ranking, and of course your ranking the most is going to be your cash and your money market account, the 1 and 2, just the way this is. But then you can see what, of course it has those in there. I'm just looking, but again, I don't know if y'all want those rankings there, but you did ask for the IV there, and it's the 30-day IV. And so look at that one right there. Altimmune 152, Clean Spark 164, Groupon 161, that laboratory one, that pharmaceutical one right there, 177%. MicroStrategy 145, Root 165. I figured Soundhound would be higher than that. Actually, you know what? They had DWAC on here last week. I'm surprised they didn't have Funware on here. Maybe they don't want to deal with penny stocks, which would make sense. And I don't know. Maybe it's in the prospectus. I plan to read that here shortly. It's like on my major to-do list of things. But anyway, so now we have here our underlying and all the stocks, which ones, what our market values of those are. So you can see, some of these are positive, I don't know. No. What I could do, hold on, I figured out, no. I guess you can't do pivot tables in, I don't know. Yeah, I guess not. So I didn't think you could do pivot tables in Excel at all. In Google Sheets at all. And then I actually pulled this out and put it in regular Excel. I was going to start doing things. And I thought, well, let me just look it up because I remember hearing something about pivot in Google Sheets. So apparently I can't upload a worksheet that has a pivot in it because it doesn't like it, or it doesn't like the way I had it. But you can build one in here. I just don't like it as much as Excel. And it's trying to figure out how it works. And you can't do all the things that you can normally do in Excel, because I was going to pull cache and FGX down at the bottom, and then I was going to do some things in here. I was fixing to sort this, but I guess you can't do that unless you have it on the computer. So that's interesting. But anyway, we can just look here at our biggest losers. What we have 20, we have that Viking, we have Mara, 72,000, and then Altimmune is the worst one with negative 142 market value. So then our top runners would be MicroStrategy. Look at that, 106,000. Where was number 4? Coinbase, 86,000. The SMCI, 86,000. So yeah. So hopefully y'all like this. I know this isn't beautiful and pretty, but I was trying to get something pulled together. And then on the right here, I know it's something else, and y'all probably don't care about this, but I was looking at where we were, and where we started out with the outstanding shares and our net assets here, and we almost doubled in the past day. So I found that very interesting. That's because I don't know how or what, but yeah, that's why we ended up having lots of purchases here, because we almost doubled in net assets there. I guess I need to learn about all that stuff too, and how that stuff works. So I know I don't. So I know I don't have to know this stuff, because all I'm really doing is pulling data, and I'm just reading you the data and interpreting it, so to speak, for you, right? But I'm the type of person that I like to know the ins and outs of everything. So I do the same thing at work. Like, I want to know how everything works. Of course, here I'm never going to know how everything worked unless I actually worked, I don't know, for these companies that actually do this stuff. So, but anyway, yeah, I thought I'd start some of this. Like I said, I still need to go back to the comments. I know I've had lots of requests, a lot of them from two specific people, and I know I've maybe have done some of them and not all of them yet. It's just because when I go to do them, I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember they asked for this, because I'm not going back at that second when I'm, getting ready to do the workbook, to go read through all the comments. So feel free that if I still haven't done something you want, let me know. But I do still have those messages that I would just have to go back and reference them and reread them. But yeah, I hope this was useful. Hopefully you like the changes. Some of them are more for my benefit, but I'm going to tell you, this workbook is going to take some time, because like, I'm taking, this data, and then I'm having to totally, alter it, and, and everything else, and put the lines and do all that stuff. But yeah, let me know if you have anything else. And then what I'll do for this weekend, I guess I'll do a weekly roundup like I did for the Yieldmax last week, to show where we stand at the end of the week after because tomorrow a bunch of these are going to expire, right, and close, and then we'll have our new holdings. Now, I will say that this weekend I'll be traveling to Tennessee to be with family, so I will figure out where I can fit the video in. And I actually had some other videos. I know somebody asked about Yieldmax and YMAG that I didn't get around to. I think it was last night or something, because I was doing other things. I got the stuff ready, I just haven't done the video. But anyway, that's where we stand. We're getting a little closer. Let me know what y'all think, and don't forget to like the video if you like it, because again, I'm going to prioritize the videos based on the likes that I get. So like today, If I don't, it's 1 o'clock in the morning already. So if I didn't have time or didn't want to stay up to do the other one, or to do one, I'm always going to do the one. The first video I do is going to be based off the likes, and then I'll determine if I do the second video or not based on how I feel. So please just make sure you're liking the videos, because that's how I know which ones you prefer and what you like. But anyway, I won't drag this out anymore. I'm going to try to do the Yieldmax video. If my husband will stop snoring, maybe. Maybe I can get through that one fairly quickly. Of course, I did make some changes to that one, so I'll probably review a few changes, and hopefully I can get through that one without taking too much time. But I appreciate everybody that watched and that made it to the end. Thank you. Bye.